Okay, it's Friday, it's about noon, and let's get right into this snowstorm that is occurring over Minnesota as we speak. You are looking at the infrared satellite over the upper Midwest and Great Lakes, and it is not difficult to see exactly where this beautiful looking storm is located. Center of low pressure is right around Rochester, Minnesota, moving northeast, and you can see the pinwheeling around the backside of this low. This is called the deformation axis on the northwest side of this low pressure system, which is usually where the heavy snow is found. And there is no doubt that heavy snow is falling basically from about, Hibbing, Minnesota, southwest now to Ortonville, Minnesota, which is right on the western notch here of Minnesota, snowing at 1 to 2 inches per hour in those areas. So that would be the lakes country of central Minnesota, including the Brainerd area. And this is really a beautiful looking storm system. We only get storms like this maybe a handful of times a year. And it looks like we finally got one here in late November. The radar summary over the Twin Cities confirms exactly where the precipitation is falling, at least in southern and central Minnesota and western Wisconsin. These yellow areas, these were thunderstorms that had moved through the Twin Cities. And as the storms have been moving north, it's now changing over to snow as it approaches the Brainerd area and up north to Duluth. And right here, this is what we need to keep an eye on here in the Twin Cities, is this pinwheeling back edge of precipitation. This is snow, and some of it is heavy over Wilmer, stretching south to near Pipestone, Minnesota. And this area of snow, patches of it are moving now north and east. That's the reason why Wright County and northern Anoka County may receive a little bit more in the way of snow when compared to the rest of the Twin Cities Metro. But there's no doubt that all of the Twin Cities Metro will receive a burst of snow between about 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. this afternoon before the snow tapers early this evening. Of course, the ground temperatures are so warm and the air temperature is still warm that it's going to be tough to get accumulation and snow that sticks, especially in the central and southern Metro. But regardless, be expecting some snow this afternoon, and it's going to look actually quite nasty as we head towards rush hour late this afternoon and evening. Upper Midwest radar summary shows that beautiful looking storm with the rain in northwestern Wisconsin from about Duluth on south into northwestern Wisconsin, and then a large shield of snow, lots of it heavy, over central and northern Minnesota. There have been reports of up to 10 inches of snow now here in west central Minnesota and eastern South Dakota just over the last 12 hours. So this storm means business, and it's going to continue to pinwheel northeast, so that'll take the snow right through Hibbing, Brainerd, and then eventually Duluth, and then the arrowhead of Minnesota as we head into the afternoon and evening hours, with the Twin Cities receiving a coating to 2 inches over the majority of the metro, with a little bit more on the northern and western sides of the metro. Sharp gradient of snow, as we've been talking, from northwest to southeast. That gradient is going to be impressive. Again, we were talking 8 to 10 inches of snow now has fallen out here in west central Minnesota, yet nothing from Albert Lee and Red Wing on southeast. Well, actually the Twin Cities now southeast, but that'll change over the next 6 hours. This is the HRR computer model, fresh off the press. It's showing that a good 2 to 3 inches of snow over the core metro. Of course, a lot of that will melt on contact, but still, it's going to snow at a good clip later this afternoon and into the early evening hours. And then, of course, that sharp gradient of snow, basically from St. Cloud to Alexandria on north and east. That's where the core, the axis of the heavy snow is located, and that's where it's going to stay as the temperatures are just simply too warm, ground and surface and air temperatures too warm as you head from the Twin Cities on south and east to get any real appreciable accumulations. So kind of exactly what we've been expecting, and it's coming to fruition. And I wanted to show you not only what's happening today, but I do want to take a peek out into early next week. This is very important because we have another system on the way for late Tuesday and Wednesday. But here's the storm system today, a nice looking trough in the jet stream. This is the jet stream winds at 300 millibars, or about 30,000 feet above in our atmosphere. But here's the jet stream, impressive looking storm over Minnesota today. And then watch what happens as we go through this weekend. We have a ridge that develops over our area, so it'll be a quiet weekend here in the upper Midwest. But take a look at what's happening early next week. This is the jet stream for Tuesday afternoon, and another buckle in the jet means another storm system. And this could be a fairly impressive storm system that's going to develop over the Dakotas and Minnesota on Tuesday and then move northeast, similar to this last storm, Tuesday night into Wednesday. Basically what that means is that if we can get enough cold air in place on Tuesday into Wednesday, we are going to certainly get some accumulating snow, even here in the Twin Cities during that time period. Here's that storm system again today. Once again, impressive, beautiful looking storm system. And then we get that action that's going to quiet down over the weekend. This is late Sunday, really not much going on, but watch what happens early next week. Again, here it is. This is Tuesday night. Another decent looking storm system spinning up over Iowa, southern Minnesota, and western Wisconsin. And the GFS computer model shows that we are going to be very close to a rain snow line here in the Twin Cities and western Wisconsin. So this is something to keep an eye on. The European computer model shows this as being all snow for Tuesday night into Wednesday. And if that's the case, we could receive a good 4 to 6 inches of snow even here in the Twin Cities and western Wisconsin by Wednesday morning. All right, have a great weekend, everyone.